that's a great question to think about resources and what we mean in responsive feedback when we talk about resources. And in a way, we do mean a wide range of resources. And so when we think about staff time and effort, available staff or available tools, those actually do play an important part in responsive feedback, because as we start walking through the module and walking through the different steps, we want to make sure that the responsive feedback process uses your resources in your program in the way that you're thinking of resources, maybe staff time and capabilities, wisely, because what we're looking for is things that can be looked at and evidence that can be gathered, analyzed, and acted on while you're still in the field. So from that point of view, resources are very valuable to make sure that you have the staff that would be able to walk through and collect additional evidence and analyze it, and then making sure that you have the flexibility and the staff time needed to also implement any changes that you identify. So as we walk through the steps, we're going to emphasize those types of resources. But an additional important resource is this kind of idea of a learning culture within your organization. And what we've found is it's really valuable if you can bring in everybody in the organization, including those at the top, to kind of have this understanding on why something like responsive feedback could be valuable. And so often we like to have organizations take kind of a self-assessment and just to see, is learning really integrated into the culture of their organization? Are different viewpoints welcomed? How does the top leadership feel about flexibility in programs? And we found that responsive feedback can be very successful in programs that have this kind of learning culture and where they appreciate this feedback and input. But however, that's not to say that if your organization isn't currently in that kind of mindset that you cannot do responsive feedback, because I think we can adapt and fit this program to wherever your organization is currently. But this kind of exercise really helps as we move into thinking through our stakeholders and how to engage them when we think about the types of learning and trainings and just open to new suggestions, how that organization is structured. It helps because as you integrate your stakeholders, which we'll talk about through the module, it's important to kind of know their interests in the priorities and where your organization is as you kind of frame your discussions and bring them into this process. So just on the whole, thinking about resources, and you'll see when you walk through our worksheets and checklists, it really wants to get you thinking about the open-mindedness of the organization, where responsive feedback might fit within the current culture, and then also just being realistic about those actual resources that you have as you walk through and collect your data and analyze it to try to bring about program change.